We've seen some pretty egregious misuses of police power in recent times, but a story that emerged yesterday really took the biscuit. A terminally ill man had just found out that he's destined to die, and he decided to draw up his bucket list. On that bucket list was moonying a speed camera. I think we can all relate to that. That sinking feeling that you get when you're driving around, boom, a big flash goes off behind you, and you confront the crushing reality that you're doing 34 in a 30, and now you have to go on a speed awareness course because you're clearly a threat to civilization. So, Daryl Meekham saw his chance, and he took it. His wife nipped into Tesco Express, and Daryl seized the moment. He got out of his car, and he approached a mobile speed camera in Stourbridge. The belt came off. The pants came down. The bottom came out. Anyway, 20 minutes later, Daryl gets a knock on his door. He's confronted by no less than 6 police officers who say they want to arrest him for indecent exposure. Daryl doesn't let them in, so they kick his garden gate down, naturally. He's then pinned to the ground and has his face smashed into the dirt of his own back garden. He tells them he's terminally ill. He also has Parkinson's disease. He's a wheelchair user. You know what I find absolutely staggering? That West Mercia police were seemingly unable to uncover the UK's largest ever grooming gang scandal, which happened right under their noses for decades in Telford. But within 20 minutes of a terminally ill man mooning a speed camera, they can send 6 officers round and make a quick arrest. If Daryl had sat in front of that mobile speed camera, said he was from Insulate Britain and glued his hand to the road, the police would have just got out and offered him tea and biscuits. They'd have asked if there's anything they can do to make him feel comfortable. West Mercia police, a force that, and this will come as no shock, has previously been branded inadequate, can never complain again about not having enough resources. They must have too many police, surely, if they had 6 going spare to race round to a dying man's house that quickly. I'm happy to report on national television that West Mercia is obviously a crime-free zone because there weren't any burglaries that needed investigating, no murder inquiries to solve or rapists that need to be tracked down. West Mercia's Police and Crime Commissioner, John Campion, has refused to come on the show. He's refused to comment. He says it's an ongoing investigation. I mean, it will hardly take MI5 to crack this case, will it? The man flashed a police camera. Presumably there's footage of him doing it. He's actually admitted it, so it's pretty much open and shut, isn't it? I suppose there's still a chance that Daryl might get away with it. If Mr Campion decides to put the same investigators on this case as those who managed to miss the systematic abuse of more than 1,000 vulnerable young girls by a huge grooming gang, Daryl will probably get off scot-free. According to West Mercia Police's website, Mr Campion's salary is about 76,500, although a Wikipedia search indicates that it may be about 85k. You'd have thought, considering that we pay his wages, he might be inclined to have fronted up to this and explained why his officers behaved like a pack of rabid dogs. The fact is that if the police forces in that area cared as much about sexual abuse as they do about someone flashing one of their speed cameras, then thousands of girls wouldn't have had their lives ruined. Daryl has been diagnosed with multiple system atrophy, which is a debilitating brain disease with no known cure. Are the police really going to drag him to court and make the final period of his life an absolute nightmare? I mean, they might have already given him COVID, for goodness sake. I couldn't see any of those officers wearing masks. They were rubbing all over him. It wasn't a particularly socially distanced arrest. And let's think about the cost for the taxpayer, shall we? If it goes to court, we have to pay for the prosecution. We may well end up paying for the defence. We will have to pay the magistrate. Sometimes there's a few of them. We pay the clerk. We pay the staff. Also, a terminally ill man who is having a laugh can get fined a couple of £100. Does anybody want that? No. West Mercia police should hang their heads in shame. They're supposed to uphold the law and order, not bully the vulnerable.